Yada lelayate herchihe samiddehe vyavahane tadajya bhagavantare nahuti pratipadayet shraddhayahutam. Yada lelayate herchihe samiddehe vyavahane tadajya bhagavantare nahuti pratipadayet shraddhayahutam. When indeed in the fire well kindled, the flame shoots up, offer your oblations between the two portions of fire with shraddha, shraddhayahutam. With shraddha, with dedication, with that purpose, you should perform, offer your oblations between the two portions of fire. In fact, this section of the two portions, in between the two portions, we have understood. In fact, the Guru doesn't qualify what the two portions here. So it gives us an opportunity to liberalize or liberally interpret what these two portions are. And that's what we said. The two portions refers to the middle path. You have to adopt that anything that you do at the physical level, at the material, physical, emotional, intellectual, spiritual. We have discussed that. How to adopt that middle path. Now, here, the fire is a ritual. The fire worship is considered a very auspicious element in the religious or spiritual journey. Every religion, in fact, somehow or the other worships fire. Now, to take it literally, fire is a symbol, a terrestrial symbol to represent the transcendental Brahman. So it's a terrestrial idol to represent the transcendental ideal. The terrestrial idol, you need a prop to get to the unknown, which is the self, the ideal. So fire is used as a symbol because if you visualize, in those days, these transactions were happening in the Himalayan valleys, Himalayan mountains. It's biting cold. They were exposed to nature. And fire is that which gave them warmth and comfort. So they used fire as a symbol to worship Brahman. It gave them solace, peace. So they associate, therefore, fire with something which gives you comfort and peace. They associate with the higher. Now, one reason. Second reason is, of all the elements, the Panchabhutas are space, air, fire, water, earth, the five elements. Of all the elements, in fact, the five elements, space to water, space is the subtlest of all elements and water is the grossest. So earth is the grossest, I'm sorry. So from space to earth. So if you take from space to earth, the first element seen by the eye is fire. Therefore, fire is symbolized and fire is worshipped. So of the five elements, I repeat, space is the subtlest, grosser than space is air, grosser than space and air is fire, grosser than space, air, fire is water, and the grossest is the earth. And this order of grossness is measured by how many senses can contact it. That's how the grossness is measured. So first, if you take space, space is associated with sound. So space is contacted with the only element, which is ear. Because sound travels through space. So sound and space are interrelated, and the ear is the sense organ which contacts space. Second is air. You can hear and you can feel. If the air is blowing or the wind is blowing, you can feel the wind. So two sense organs. So you can hear and you can feel skin. Third is fire. So you can be contacted with ear, can be contacted with skin, and can be contacted with eyes. Is the first element which is seen by the eye, therefore it is worshipped. Now, grosser than fire is water. The four elements which can contact water are ear, skin, eye, and tongue. You can't smell water, but you can smell earth. So the five elements which contact earth are all the five senses. Therefore, earth is the grossest. So we were given two interpretations. One is how it gave them warmth and comfort, so they associated it with the higher. Second is fire is worshipped because it's the first element which is seen by the eye, therefore it is worshipped. Now, fire is not just a mere symbol, a mere ritual, but rather it has a deeper philosophical significance. Pre-Vyasa, Vyasa is the codifier of Vedas and the author of this text, which is not author, not what I'm saying, author of the Mahabharata, the Upanishads, no? So little confusion whether Upanishad I'm teaching or Bhagavad Gita I'm teaching. So, but the Vyasa, pre-Vyasa, it was only a mere fire worship. So people got involved in the mere ritual. But Vyasa impregnated this meaningless ritual, which in fact, even in this section of the Upanishad, the Guru is going to denounce that. So the mere ritual, he impregnated the word, the concept of yajna. You all can hear me, right? Because there was a little, all of you froze. I didn't know whether you all are so attentive or it is whether in reality, you know. So, so the fire is not just a mere fire worship. It is not just invoking fire and worshipping the fire god. But how to convert every action into a yajna, how to convert every aspect of your action into worship. So just give you a brief comparison, what this means. Fire worship is usually a community worship. Whenever a yajna is performed, you don't do it only with your family members. You invariably call your friends, your family, your society, your community. Everybody are invited. It's an open invitation. So everybody invited. So it's a community worship. So the moment you're doing a yajna means you are working for a common cause, means you're working for a larger interest. There is an ideal in life. There is a goal in your life. So worshipping fire itself is an ideal. And two essential elements in any fire worship is what is it that is offered and what is it that's kindled, means something that shoots up, the flame shoots up. So what is offered is invariably, you realize, usually you offer grains, you offer fuel in the form of ghee, you put wood, etc. So what is offered into the fire of the community? The fire here is either your community or your country or humanity. That's the ideal. And that which sustains the fire is the offering. And it's an offering not by one, but the offering by the entire, all the participants. Everybody who comes into the performance of the yajna, even though the yajna is ideally performed by the immediate family members, the closest who are performing, but thereafter, everybody gets an opportunity to take a fistful of the grains, which are piled up in a corner, to take a fistful and offer it to the fire, so that everybody is a part of that worship. Now, my question is, what does the offering of the grains symbolize? Sai, have you ever performed a yajna? Have you ever witnessed a yajna?
Yes, sir, in temples and so
you have seen it, you have witnessed it. Now, so you understand the concept, don't you?
yes.
Now, as the question is, what does the offerings of the grain into the fire, if the fire is the community or the country or the ideal that you're working for, it can be a company also. And every member of the performer, every member who's participating in the ritual is every member in that community. So everybody offering grains means what?
So our contribution to the larger cause. So in an office, our contribution to the company's cause.
But what are you offering?
Grain.
Oh, thank you, sir. I know that I'll go to my office first thing in the morning. I'll start yajna there, and start fire. The end result, the entire building is consumed by that fire. Don't do that. Don't literally start doing fire everywhere you go, and then there'll be, will be short of fire engines to put off that fire. It's not literally, isn't it? So what do you offer?
The grains, I think grains is something we consume. So whatever I'm consuming, my time, I'm giving my time, my energies to the cause.
You're giving your time, energy. All right. Anything else? Any further interpretation? You're not wrong, sir. You're very right. But I'm just trying to eke more out of that. What do the grains symbolize? RM, don't type. You can talk.
Guruji, is it the fruits of our labor, our action?
Fruits of your labor.
Yeah, well, when the grains after toiling hard in the fields, what comes out is the grains. So we are offering that or surrendering that to Brahman.
So you're saying the grains you're symbolizing as the fruits of your action.
The farmers, Guruji, when they toil hard in the fields, what results is the grains. That is the fruit of their labor. So this symbolizes that all our actions probably We are offering it into the fire, which is
Now, what are you offering? So, is it the
dravya. That is,
no? But I'm there is little confusion here. The dravya or the grain that is offered, is it your action or is it the fruit of your action? Because you're saying two things here.
we, possibly the action, Guruji. Yeah.
Hmm. That's what I was trying to get clarity. So dravya, the offerings here are your motiveless actions, which are you don't go to a yajna, to a place of worship with any motive. That is sacrilegious. That is non-spiritual. So you go to a place of worship with no intent or no motive, which is selfless actions. The only motive is to serve. So what you're offering is you're performing selfless actions. And how are you performing selfless actions? Through the talent you have, through the vasanas you have. Like Sai, you said in a company, there are X number of employees. Each one has a specific talent, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
They have a specific talent. You could be in administration, you could be in finance, you could be in marketing, you could be in different departments. So each member is offering his talent. In what way? In a selfless manner, not in a selfish manner, or at least acceptable is unselfish. Selfish not accepted, but the highest is selfless. But when you offer those talents, what happens? Okay, when the grains are offered, what happens? Immediately, what's happening?
Is adding as a fuel to the
Fuel to the
grain.
fire. So what happens to the grain?
The grain loses its identity, but the fire.
Shoots up.
Yes.
Fire is given life, right? So taking it literally, so when you offer the grain, which is the vasana, which is your talent, through the selfless action. So what is being consumed? The impurities of your vasanas are being consumed, are being burnt. So there is no more selfishness inside. Sai is becoming purer and purer day by day because he is not working for his own family. He's not working for, oh, my new member of the family is coming, so I'm working for that new member. Has new member arrived?
Actually, it's still waiting. We had a checkup, maybe still.
All right. Yes or no, that's all.
No.
So I know you let us know. But in that excitement, I thought you've forgotten us. Therefore, I clarified. So you don't have to work only for your family and if at all my immediate family. No. You must work for everybody's good. That is when your dirt or impurity of vasanas get burnt. So when the grains are offered, the impurities are consumed and the flames shoot up. So the fire or the flame shooting up is nothing but the blessings of the sacrifices people have offered, which is the attainment of the goal. You have reached the goal of self-realization. And how do you announce that you have reached the goal of self-realization? After the yajna is finished, after the performance of the ritual. The ashes that is left after the performance, the participants, those who perform the ritual, use the ashes to smear it on their forehead, and they visit the nearest temple, symbolizing the merger of the individual with the totality, which is attaining self-realization. So the ritual that you perform So isn't there a ritual later today, Harish?
Yes, Guruji, the ritual is at the end of the class. We will give the closing prayer at the end of the class.
No, I'm asking you all are performing a yajna today, aren't you?
Oh yes, we have a havan. Sorry, we have a havan at home at Nisha's house.
How can you forget it? Because we were the one who supplied the fuel to you from Hyderabad.
Yes.
Because Harish
Correct.
came and asked me a special request. Guruji, we are performing this ritual. When I was in Hyderabad a few days ago, he said, we are performing this yajna in my sister's place, Nisha's place. So I have requested, we want the dung patties, which is an essential element in the performance of the ritual. Is there a way it can be arranged? And it was arranged effortlessly because it was very readily available. That's why I know that the yajna is due to happen. So I know you said on Saturday. So apart from the auspiciousness of performing the ritual, the onus is on you, Harish, to take a few moments and draw a deeper meaning of what this symbolizes to every participant. So not only are they a part of the ritual, you have led them onto the higher path of they are performing yajna every walk of their way of life. Like I remember you reiterated what we learned in this class. You remember what you reiterated in the retreat in your at the end you shared your feedback and your appreciation, and you said something. You remember that in the context?
I remember that I said that I remember that our oops, sorry, Guruji. Sorry. I remember saying that our prayers are not a mere 5 minutes. It is for 23 hours and 55 minutes is our true prayer.
Absolutely. So the true yajna is not that half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours you're spending in that performance of the ritual. How every action that you perform beyond the place of sanctity, how can you sanctify every action? How do you convert every action to yajna? By offering your talents in the spirit of service and sacrifice to the larger good. So everything that you do is not to bring name and fame and power and position to yourself, but every action you do is to get rid of the impurities of your own selfish attachments and desires and attain the larger goal of self-realization or self-development or self-purification, whatever it is. But the action is done not to acquire dirt, action is performed to get rid of dirt. That is the symbolic representation of fire. So when the Guru says Yada Lelayate Archihi, Archihi is the flame, Samidhe, being set ablaze, one should offer oblations. Between the two portions of fire. So the two portions of fire I've already clarified. The two portions of fire are between the two actions. The two actions that you perform, between them you must perform. Kashish, what are between the two actions? What is that we're talking about? So between the two portions of fire is symbolized between the two actions. The middle part, what is that? Yes, Kashish, are you?
So this would be what you talked about, not last week, but the week before, about walking the middle path of sattva between tamas and rajas. And that would be on all five of the levels, like material, physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual.
Yes. What else can we interpret as? Just now we took a mention of. You're absolutely right. That in between the two refers to the other extremities of rajas and tamas. To strike the middle path is the path of sattva, right? Now, what is it we just spoke about? Even when I told Sai, I said something. What kind of actions you're performing, which is in between the two extremities of actions?
Forming motiveless actions.
Perfect. You perform motiveless or
Selfless.
selfless actions, which are between the two extremities are actions with a motive, which is selfish and unselfish, isn't it?
Yes.
And how do you perform them? You must perform them with great shraddha. Shraddhaya hutam means you perform with great care. You do it with great dedication. You do it with great commitment. So I can say, I'm using the fire, the kund. What is the kund here? Yeah, Kashish?
I don't know, Guruji.
The kund is where the actual ritual is performed, where
The
you
container.
the trough or the space that you've created. It's ideally, nowadays you get ready-made things, but traditionally it is made with soil and mud, but people have improvised. They do it with brick and sand. So whatever it is, the trough. So the trough is, what is the trough here?
As in the metaphorical, what is the trough?
Metamorphically, yeah. What would be the trough here?
The body through which
No,
the talents are, or the vasanas are expelled from.
Can you quickly recap what are the other metamorphical significances we said?
So, Guruji, you said that the offerings, or the grains, the ghee, and the wood would be the equivalent of selfless actions offered to the fire to be consumed as your vasanas. And then what is kindled are the blessings of what you've sacrificed in order to attain your goal. And then afterwards, the ash, or like the ashes, when smeared on the forehead, symbolize the merging of the individual and the totality. So we have like metaphorical for the offerings, the flame, and the ashes afterwards.
And do you know the ashes usually are smeared in stripes of 3?
Yes.
What do you symbolize? You know that?
I'm not certain of the symbolism, although I can make an estimated guess. Does it also have to do with the middle path, like the 3 paths and on walking the balance?
It is symbolic that you have transcended the 3 yogas, sattva, rajas, tamas. You have reached the state of trans sattva.
Understood.
All right. Now, keeping this in mind, rightly, as you rightly clarified, so the trough that you create is where you're actually offering your talents. You're offering your vasanas, you're offering your actions, is in the trough. That's where you're invoking fire, isn't it? So what does a trough mean? What does that kund symbolize? So the kund symbolizes the avenue you choose to burn your impurities and attain the goal. The avenue means for where are you operating? Now, undoubtedly, undeniably, the kund I have chosen is the wisdom foundation. So everything that this organization I do, I'm doing for the organization. But through my actions I'm performing in this organization, I'm attaining moksha. So what I'm doing, Vinay is offering his talents, his vasanas, selfless actions into the kund, which is the organization, for the fire of self-realization. So the process, what happens? The organization is benefited because every member in this organization is trying to offer their talents for the organization to grow. When the organization grows, everybody is benefited. Like all of you right now are being benefited by whatever efforts we all are continuously putting. Not once in a while we'll put the effort. No, continuously. Every action, every effort is trying to let this organization grow, let this organization flourish, so that everybody is benefited by the fruits of the actions of those who have offered this organization to grow. In the process, what happens? Every member of the organization is burning off his vasanas. Every member is offering that of actions are getting rid of their impurities, of their selfishness, of their desires and attachments and vasanas. And the flame shooting up is the growth of the organization. The objective of the organization is met. So the result is everybody around is blessed by the efforts. So the kund here symbolizes the field which you choose to work. Tomorrow I say, no, I want to go to an orphanage and work. I may want to do Annadanam and work. I may want to do different kinds of services, but I have chosen to do Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. I'm doing this offering of knowledge. This is yajna, different forms of yajna, Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna, Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. In different contexts, we learn 4 yajnas. But the yajna is offering, kindling, where you offer is the kund. So that element also, if you understand, you have to choose the right field so that you can offer your talents. And when you do so, where you're offering it, that shoots up, the fire shoots up, which is the blessing, means the benefits of the performance. You can't perform yajna without a kund. You have to have a place where that's performed, no? So the fire is the blessing, which is the benefit of having performed the ritual. Gayatri, am I all clear or is there confusion?
No confusion, Guruji.
No confusion, because the right expression was, I was wondering, is there a confusion? Can you repeat quickly? What is the fire?
Fire is the blessings of our offerings, whatever we are, talent, wherever we are using it for the realization of the self.
No, confusing. Fire is the blessing offered as the grains, which are your
Actions.
your vasanas, your talents. The kund is the
field which we have chosen.
the field of activity you have chosen. And the ashes symbolize the
Merging of the individual with the totality.
attainment of the goal.
Goal.
So ashes symbolize that attainment of the goal, which happens at the end of the ritual. Attainment of the goal is smearing the ashes on your forehead, and then visiting the temple is announcement of the attainment of the goal. I may smear my ashes and sit in my room. How will the world know? So you go to a nearby temple and announce to the world, you have darshan of the Lord to say, I have attained realization. It's not literally taking a mic and announcing, but it is just to exhibit that oneness. So you see, the mere ritual is so complete, so meaningful, and everything that you do can be a yajna, is a yajna, should be a yajna. And that is when you will reach your goal of what you wish to. And don't compromise in thinking high. Try to, so I can use the same ritual. I can think of myself, I can think of my family, I can think of my community, or I can think of humanity. Why should I limit my thinking? That's the point. Don't limit your thinking. Think as high as you can. The action will gain enormous strength. So the metaphorical significance, the allegorical significance is far greater than the mere performance of the ritual. So the essential is the metaphorical significance, not the mere performance of the ritual. But you may use occasions to perform. But Haresh, the onus is on you to enlighten every member of the organization, of the ritual, or so please enlighten them on the deeper significance. So you will
Yes,
be
sir.
their guru for the day. Where have you learned it? You say, I've learned from the Upanishadic guru. Not me. You say, Angiras, I learned from Angiras, you say. Because Angiras is the guru of the text, na? Correct? The sage Angiras taught me, you can tell. Harish is writing down Angiras. Please, I know. Please say so. Okay.
Yes. Good.
Thank you. Right.